What an American thinks about Greece. Greece is an amazing place to travel through because of all of the cool archaeological sites to go to. I went to Olympia, Mount Olympus, Sparta, Mycenos, Argos, Corinth, Athens, Eos, Delphi, Thebes. Yeah, and all those places are amazing. Just all the ancient history. Delphi was amazing. Delphi was way up on the side of a mountain, overlooking, and if you go around the bend a little bit, you can see the ocean, but it's like cliffs above you and just built up on the side of a really steep hill. But it's a whole city built up on the side of a really steep hill. And on the top of the hill, they have their big Circus Maximus thing. And yeah, amazing. And Athens was beautiful. So as far as the Greeks, though, Greek people, Greeks, they're pretty good at English. They're all really good at English. I liked Greeks. They were going through their problems last summer where they were having economic problems. And you would think that, you know, some countries have economic problems, they become grumpy, like the Argentinians were extremely grumpy during their economic problems, and some, I was there in Korea for their economic problems, and some of them were grumpy. But I didn't really notice that from the Greeks. I mean, I did see some grumpy Greeks, maybe, but I was kind of under the impression that's just how Greeks are. I think Greeks' personality, they're just really, like, hot-headed, you know? Like, they're just like, what? Ah! Like that. Like, you know? I was in Sparta at a bike shop, and I bought, like, some new shoes. Some cleats for my shoes. New pedals, too. Pedals and cleats. And I couldn't get the cleats off my shoes, and I was like, oh, and I was like just about to ask the guy if he could, but he's like, what? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, just give me the thing. And then I was in Sparta, and I went over to these car mechanics to see if I could get them to help me get this screw removed, and with the drill. And one of the dude was like yelling at the guys. They gave me like 3 beers. Greeks are really generous. They just give you stuff. They gave me like 3 beers, and the other guy was just like angry, yelling at him, but they were just laughing. And then I realized he wasn't really yelling at them. That's just how he was. They're just really like aggressive and loud. Like Leonidas. They're all the children of Leonidas. We are Sparta! But yeah. And yeah, but they were like that in Eos too, you know. Like some kid like pushed some Greek dude on a motorcycle. Because I don't know why he did that. That was kind of stupid. But he stops. He's like, what the fuck you doing? Pushing me, motherfucker. But yeah, I mean, these guys, they let me shower. Use their hose and shower in front of their butchery shop at one town. But before I asked them, they go, what? I was like, oh yeah, just shower though. Yeah. But they have a really cool like beach culture. I went to some place at the base of Mount Olympus, and there were all these people on the beach, and they set up their beaches like they had their beach set up more intricate than I'd ever seen. They had I guess electrical outlets there that they plugged into, and they brought everything. They brought rugs for their tents, microwave ovens, plug-in refrigerators, TVs. I mean, I don't know how long they were there for. I hope they were there for a while, because they looked like they moved there. Everything. Yeah, over there on the beach. But, yeah. They're not really into nudity, though. I went over to the nude beach, and they weren't getting naked. A couple of topless girls, but I don't think they were even Greeks. They're like conservative that way, which is bizarre, because that's not how they were a long time ago before the Christians took over. I had a kind of an interesting conversation with this Greek girl. I was in a tram, and some girl starts talking to me. Really pretty, too. And she's like... she was just really like one of these people where whatever you say to them, they just have to make it like negative. She's like, what? How do you get money to... And she was a dentist. She probably made a ton of money. She's a really well-dressed hot dentist. But I'm like... She's like, why do you do travel? I'm like, oh, I just had some money. I decided to travel. Oh, I don't have any money to travel. I could never travel. It's like, aren't you a dentist? Yes, but... it's weird. And then she starts talking about how she went on a date with a dude who raped her and she didn't even like the guy. And that's funny, man. But, yeah. But, it's really expensive. It's part of the EU, and it was a really expensive country, but they, oh, and the people over there in the capital city, they're in Athens, in the bottom of the Acropolis, they were really outgoing. Like, hey, come to our place to have our Greek, gyros. Oh, you again, you brought your friends, good. And actually that guy wasn't American, but I guess he had Greek heritage or something. But oh, and I went to another campground, and the dude didn't even charge me. I was like, how much it is? Oh, don't even worry about it. And there was internet there. I did Skype with my mom while I was in my tent. So, yeah, even though they were like broke, I didn't feel like I was... And I've heard people say that about Greeks, but I didn't see that way at all. They seemed really not after money. Oh yeah, and I went and I got these dudes to do a test on my bike. I thought I needed to get a new spindle for my wheel, and they tested it out, and then they said it was fine, and they didn't want to charge me at all for that too. In Thessaloniki. It's Thessalonians. But they're really short. Greek people are short. There's lots of really short Greek people. But I mean, there's lots of normal sized Greek people too, but I noticed a lot of really short Greek people. Which is different from like Montenegro and Serbia. They're gigantic in Montenegro and Serbia. But Greeks were little people. And yeah, Athens is really crowded, crazy crowded, overpacked. And yeah, there's some black people there too, in this one section. Yeah, really touristy. I should have explored around Athens more. Ios, the party island, was really cool. It was like really the whole town. You couldn't. There was no. Well, I guess maybe it was because it was designed to be a party island, but the whole town itself, there was no. Between the buildings, it was so narrow you couldn't even ride a bike. It was like you were in a boat or something, just walking these tiny little corridors like you're in a building. And that was the town. The central part of the town. That was bizarre. Party Eos area. But yeah, the islands were beautiful. I'd love to go back to Greece and just kayak through to all the different islands. Camp on the beach. Oof. That'd be dope. So anyways, that's what an American thinks about Greece.